Happy Wednesday, everyone. This is Beth Staniforth-Seamster coming to you again from the backyard. You might see my son playing with his scooter in the background. It's a beautiful Wednesday, and we're outside enjoying it. I hope you're having a great day. Let's start with our checking in. Highs and lows. My low is knowing that there are still people at church who are not feeling well with COVID-19. Doing a lot of praying for them and praying that they get better soon. My high, I just think life is pretty good in general right now for our family. Sometimes it's busy. You'll probably hear some background noise, but we're outside playing in the pool. And I've really come to enjoy this time with my kids. Well, today I want to talk about John Wesley's 3 simple rules. As we go about our lives and try to live in the way that Jesus wants us to, John Wesley, who was the founder of the Methodist Church, gave 3 rules that we can follow. So if we're struggling or we don't know what to do, we can think about that. And I think it's really helpful right now, especially as we think about things starting to reopen. Questions about what can I do versus what should I do, right? And even as kids, you can hear all sorts of background noise here. Even as kids, what you do affects other people. So rule number 1 that John Wesley had, when you're thinking about living a Christian life, is to do no harm. What does that mean? Do no harm. It means in every decision you make, think about who could be hurt by what you're doing. So there are things that we can do, like I could eat a box of cookies, but should I? And the should is probably not, because I would be harming my body, and there wouldn't be any left for my kids. So as we think about do no harm, we think about, are my actions going to hurt other people? Are my actions going to hurt me? Are my actions going to hurt the world around us or my relationship with God? And if the answer is yes, this is going to hurt someone or something, then we have to really think about, is it worth doing, right? So rule number 1, do no harm in everything that you do. Rule number 2, do all the good you can. Now, this actually can go on and on and on, like do all the good you can in all the ways you can and all the times you can for as long as you can and all the places you can. But it really just comes down to do all the good you can, right? So when we're thinking about decisions we're making right now, think about, does this decision promote goodness? Is this going to help other people? Is what I'm doing, how I'm spending my time, where I'm going, is that helpful? Is that helping the world? And let that help make your decision when you decide what you're going to do. And the last rule, so is do no harm, do all the good you can, and then rule number 3, stay in love with God, right? So that means in what you're doing, find ways to involve God, find ways to be involved in God's world. Sometimes that might look like going to church, but we know that right now we aren't getting together at church. So instead, what can we be doing to stay in love with God? Are we praying? Are we writing letters to shut-ins? Are we spending good time with our family? Reading books? Playing outside? What are the things we do that make us feel connected with God? So this week, as we're going about our lives and thinking about all the things that could happen, all the decisions that we can make, all of the options that are available to us, remember those 3 rules. Do no harm, do all the good you can, and stay in love with God. And if you think about that, I think you'll find that your decisions are made a little easier. Blessings. Have a good week.